Good morning, everybody. Well, welcome back to the Badger's Den. We've been back since last Sunday, so almost a week. Today is Saturday, and as I told you guys in a previous video, Mama Badger's headlight went out in her bike about 200 miles from home, so no big deal. Rode it home, but today I'm gonna fix it. I'm pretty sure it's just the headlight assembly itself, which I have another one around here somewhere I'll have to find. It's been a few months since I've been in the garage, so I don't even remember where everything's at, but I know that I got one here somewhere. Anywho, part of that though is diagnosing it. So I get lots and lots and lots of questions on Facebook and all about electrical issues. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how you can diagnose a headlight or a turn signal or anything like that. But I'm also going to show you 3 different types of tools I use for electrical diagnosis and kind of give you an explanation of what each one does different from the other one. Now remember, I'm not a professional mechanic. This is only my opinion and how I do things. It might not be the right way, but it's the way that works for me. Anywho, let me get everything opened up around here and we'll get started on her bike. Here we go. Alright guys, so first things first, let's cover the tools that you can use to do these diagnoses. First off is the easiest, cheapest. I actually carry one of these in my tool bag when I'm on the road. And that's just a normal average test light. I'm actually going to use this on her bike. So I'll show you how this works here in a little bit. Then the next step up from that, this is called the power probe. These are pretty expensive. They make some cheaper versions. I've never used any of the cheaper versions. I've always used the power probe, but continuing on. So the beauty of the power probe is, one, it has extra long cable. See the cable? And it actually hooks to your battery. And it allows you to apply positive and ground. So if you don't have a ground, you can literally put a ground there, and if it works, you know you have a bad ground. Same way with power. You're not seeing power, but if you turn power on, it turns on the light or whatever you're working on. So that is really a handy tool if you need to apply ground, or you also need to apply power. Also, you can see how much power is flowing through because there's a little digital readout on there. So that's another great tool. Maybe a little bit of overkill, but it works on cars, everything. And then, of course, the old standard multimeter, which if you've been around bikes or automotive, any at all, you've probably used a multimeter. The multimeter, for me, diagnosing like a headlight or anything, it's just overkill. There's just no need for it. But it works great if you're testing to see how many volts your battery has, if you're testing to see how many volts your alternator or your regulator is putting out. If you need to test something where you need to see how many volts are coming out of a system, or if you need to check from end to end to see if there's a connection, that's really what those are designed for. I mean, you can use it to test a whole host of things. That's all I've ever had to use it for. And like I said, I only break that out if I'm trying to read battery voltage or a certain amount of volts or ohms through something. Otherwise, I'm just going to use the simplest of measures, which is the test light. Or if I want to go a little more advanced, I can use the power probe. It works great. You actually hook it to the battery, and then you can run anywhere on the bike and check whatever you need to check. Check for power, check for ground, add power, add ground, see if you can get the circuit to work. And if you can, then you know kind of where to chase your problem. Anyway, let's get started on Mama Badger's bike. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to have to pull the headlight out of there so I can get to the wiring. That's pretty simple. This just pulls off. I say that just pulls off, and then I just got like a couple bolts here, and we'll pull this right out. So there's a screw there, a screw there, and a screw there. So those 3 Phillips screwdrivers, this will fall right out into my hand. I'll have access to the plug-in and the back of the light, and we can check it from there. Let's get that apart, and then we'll see what we got. All right, so the repair doesn't get much easier than that. Literally, it was unplugged. Like when I went in there and looked, this plug was just laying out. This plug was not plugged in. So I am going to reach in there and bend the prongs a little bit so that it'll squeeze tighter, and this plug-in won't come unplugged again. But since I'm here, I'll go ahead and show you how you guys could test the headlight wires coming in to see if they're good or bad. Since I'm here, I might as well show you. Here we go. Alright guys, hopefully you can see what I'm at here. But anyway, got my test light. This needs to find the ground. I'm going to find something along the frame here, maybe there. You're going to need to turn your ignition switch on so you have power there. See if that's a better ground. See how the little red light lit up? That means there's power there. Now let's flip on the brights and see if this lights up. And you can see the light just lit up when I hit the power to the brights. So here's your bright hot, here's your low hot, which means this is your ground. So now if I wanted to check and see if that ground was good, I can actually take this lead, and I've got a little piece I'll put in there to actually test that. So I'm going to leave that there. I'm going to take this, put it in the power. So now I'm actually hooking the test light up. See how the light is now green? That tells me that that is a good ground. But this allowed me to check the ground and the hot with, I mean, these things are like 10 bucks. You can get them anywhere, Amazon, whatever. I'll put a link to one in the description of the video. But that's how easy it was to check that circuit with what I carry on my bike all the time. If you want to get fancy, you can do the other stuff. You don't need to switch the leads at all because it'll do it for you. But otherwise, it's just that easy. And I'm filming this little segment of the video actually after I filmed all the other, so I'll just insert this. So we'll take you back to your regularly scheduled program here in a minute. But this is an important part of the electrical system, and the question I get asked a lot, you know, did I blow a fuse? So there's a couple ways you can check your fuses, right? Of course, you want to get to your fuses. There's my fuses. You can see them all there. So one option is I can take and I can pull each one of these fuses out, and I can physically look to see if they're good. The only problem with that is that doesn't always cover everything. The other thing you can do is just take, remember that simple little test light that I told you about? Well, you can use it to test your fuses as well. Give me just a second. I'll set up down there and I'll show you how to do that. Alright, hopefully you guys can see the battery and everything, but I'm going to take my simple test light, I'm going to hook it to the ground. Now, always remember to turn on your ignition so you have power to everything. But then you can literally touch the top of each fuse. See it lit up red? Red. If you don't have power to either, that's fuse that's not being used at the current moment. There'll be power to one side or the other of the fuse unless the circuit itself, it's not getting any power to that. But that is a quick way to test all your fuses using a simple test light. Just another helpful hint. If you're out on the road and you don't want to pull all of those and look at it, just grab your test light and check them real quick. You'll know that they're good, power is running to them, all that fun stuff. That's the other thing you can't see by pulling them out, is power actually getting to them. This will show you power is getting to one side, through the fuse, and to the other side. So that'll help you in your diagnosis. Anyway, back to the headlight. A lot of people are afraid of electrical problems. They're not that big a deal if you have the right tools and you have patience. That's what electrical problems take. takes patience, chasing, tracing, and all that fun stuff. But anywho, that's it for today. I just wanted to show you guys how you could quickly diagnose electrical problems, the different tools you could use to do so, and hopefully this helps some of you in the future. Thank you guys for watching, and of course, if you like this video, be sure to subscribe, hit the bell so you'll be notified every time I upload a new video. And remember guys, it's not about the destination, it's all about the ride. We'll see you next time.